Welcome to Las Vegas Trader YouTube channel and a weekly analysis video of the financial markets. So like always, let's just jump right into the charts and analyze what we saw this past week and what this upcoming week might look like. So this is the S&P 500, the daily chart. As you remember last week, I said we're probably moving higher. And we did, because we're still in this bullish move. This is the one leg up, pull back, and the second leg. So now we formed this topping tail, and looks a little bearish to me. This is the weekly chart. We also formed a topping tail on the weekly chart, and the monthly chart looks like this. As you remember, I keep mentioning last 2 weeks or so that this formation looks what we're forming right now. So is it going to look the same? Probably not exactly the same, but similar. So I think this month and next month probably bullish, and then we're just going to go down, I think. So let's go to NASDAQ. Start with the daily chart again. So it looks almost identical to the S&P, as you can see. So as you remember last week, I said that we're gonna go to 20,000. We did. The thing is, the contracts rolled over in the futures. So I think the old contracts hit 20,000 and pulled back. This is the new contract, so it went up to 2,300 and change. I wish I could pull up the old contract so you can see, but anyway, so this is the daily chart. The weekly chart, same thing. We formed a topping tail off of, way above the 20-day moving average. And the monthly chart, same thing as S&P, and this pretty much same formation here, okay? So let's go to Dow Jones. Let's start with the daily. So it looks a little different than the S&P and NASDAQ. So we did form the double top. We pulled back, but there's a lot of support here. So, but now we are sitting above the 20 and the 50-day moving average. So, but this was just a pause bar pretty much on Friday. So we can go either higher or just come down lower. The NASDAQ and the S&P 500 might dictate what happens in the Dow Jones as well. So this is the daily. The weekly looks like this. We are sitting right at the 20-day moving average, but the double top's still in play. So now if this week we take out this green bar completely and close below it, we are definitely going down. Okay, I mean, I'm willing to put about 90%, 95% chance of going down. Once we take this weekly bar out with a nice red bar, we're going down. Almost 100% probability. And the monthly chart. So we have 1 week left in this month, this week. So if we I don't think we're going to go higher. I think we're going to go lower this week. So then again, if we take out this topping tail and close below it, we're going lower. So we need roughly 38,000. Okay, so let's just go back here. 38,009. Yeah, so 38,000 would be, wow, way out here. At the 50. So, but anyways, let's take 1 week at a time and see what happens with this bar looks like. So 38,000. Okay. Anyways, here's Russell 2000. Start with the daily. Russell looks a little bullish, actually. Let's go look at the 4-hour chart first. Yes, I like higher prices on the Russell because we failed to break this low. It kind of looks like a reverse head and shoulders, one shoulder and second shoulder, and now we closed above these two red bars, but we're sitting right at the moving averages. So I think maybe we're gonna hit, let's see, 2080 or so, 80ish. So that would bring us right around here, right above this moving average. I mean, it's possible, but there's gonna be a little resistance at the moving averages. So we might go to 2080 and then pull back. But yeah, I mean, usually once we see a reverse head and shoulders, it usually wants to go to the 200-day moving average. So here's the daily, here's the weekly. Let's take a look at the weekly here. So 20-day moving let's take a look here. So that would be 2080 would be right at the weekly the 20 and the 200-day moving average here. Yeah, I think we're going higher on the Russell. Let's take a look at the monthly. So that would be barely. I mean, there's 5 trading days, so we can actually hit this in 1 or 2 days, and then the other 3 days just come right back down. So we might form a similar bar right there, like that. We might go up and then come down and form a topping tail. Okay, so that's what might happen. We might get a rejection because there is going to be resistance. There's a lot of sellers in this bar. Okay, so let's go to crude oil, the daily chart. So if you remember, if you watched last week's video, I called for bullish move in crude. After seeing this move, I called this move up, and then I said a little pullback to the 20-day moving average and continuation, and that's exactly what happened. Okay, so now Friday we just had this little pullback. Okay, so what might happen? We might see Monday another pullback and hit this top of this high here because there's support here and in this area. So, but also we might just drop a little further and retest this 50 and then form a bottoming tail. So we could see this in 1 day actually. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. So yeah, it's we're still probably going to move higher on a weekly chart. Looks bullish to me. We failed to produce a new low. We even hit the 200-day moving average, and we just moved back up. So small pullback and then continuation to the recent highs would be my target. Okay, and let's take a look at the monthly here. So the monthly confirms as well that we're going higher. The 20-day moving average just stopped the downward movement, so then we produced a bottoming tail. So we're going to go higher on the monthly chart as well. So let's go to gold. So if you remember, A couple weeks ago, I pointed out that we did form a double top here. So then I got a little worried, but then we just got slammed here with this red bar. And now the same thing, we pulled back to the 50-day moving average, and Friday we just closed lower again. So, but also what I see is, see this, okay? Where do we want to draw this? Like this. So the target would be 2250 or so to the lower channel. Let's take a look at the weekly here, which would be the moving average roughly. That would be some resistance. Let's erase these. Okay. So the resistance would be at 2290 or so. So about 2250. It depends how hard we're going to drop. But let's look at the monthly. So if you remember also, I kept mentioning that we formed these two, the double tails, the topping tails. So now if we close this week below this bar or this bar or even this bar, 2250 is right there. So that would be a little support in this area, 2200, 2250. Okay, so this is not out of the question. I think this is going to happen. 2200 I think is very reasonable. So that's the monthly chart. Let's go to silver, the daily, which pretty much the same picture. Okay. Okay. So I like 28 bucks for silver. The target at least. Let's take a look at the weekly here. 28, that would put us right here. So the 20-day moving average is going to catch up and bounce the price back up. But 28 would be my target for silver on the weekly chart. And the monthly, that would be right around here, roughly 50% retracement from the bottom to the top, 50%, 28. Yes, that's what I like. So let's go to Bitcoin now, daily chart. So we've been caught up in this range between 72,000 roughly and 60,000, let's call it 60,000. So we did form these multiple tops and the recent double top, right? So now we're below the moving averages. So it wants to go to the 200-day moving average. And there's a support right over here. So 58,000 roughly would be my target on the weekly chart. So we're sitting right at the 20-day moving average. Over here we came down to the 20 and bounced back up. But now we are sitting at this, I want to call this triple top. Goes first top, second top, and the third one, okay? So I think we're going lower on the monthly chart as well. So the bottom of this tail would be support. So 56, 57,000. That would be here. Yeah. So that's what I like. And the monthly chart. So this week, 56 will be right around here. So once we take this bar out, this one bar, one green bar that tried to break out, it failed. That would tell us it wants to go even lower. So we'll see how the week closes and the month closes for Bitcoin. And now the dollar, the almighty dollar. So I did call for a bullish move last 2 weeks. So, and we're going to see continuation of that. And we're going to probably see 106.50, 107. We're going to test these highs probably, most likely. And if I like I said, the precious metals are going down, in my opinion. The dollar should be rocking higher, and I think it is. So, so we had this move up here, erased this red bar, stayed above the 50, and now we broke above it. These three red candles, and now there's resistance here, 106.50, but I think we're gonna hit 107. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. It confirms my move to the upside. 107 on the weekly chart would be my target. And of course now the monthly chart. So 107 would be above this red candle. So that would erase it and it will probably continue. So but on the monthly chart, if this closes above and closes at 107, let's say, my target would be 112, 114 on the monthly chart. And now, last but not least, the bonds. So let's once again draw this channel. Okay, so we broke above it, and there was not much action this week in the bonds. It was just floating around in the dollar range. Okay, so let's take a look at the weekly. So now, if you remember, last 2 weeks, matter of fact, I said this bar needed to close above the averages, the 20 and the 50, be a nice big green bar, but we hit it and it came back down. But this following week, we did exactly that. So now this past week, we just had very little movement. Okay, so now I think we're going to move higher. And as you remember, I've been mentioning, reverse head and shoulders is in play. And my target would be 120. And let's take a look at the monthly chart. The monthly chart, same thing. It's forming, hasn't closed yet. It's forming a reverse head and shoulders. And it has, we are above this red bar, but we need to close it above it this whole week. So it would be even better if it was even more powerful and close above these two red bars. So let's just call $98 roughly. $98, that would put us right around here where there's a resistance. So that is not out of the question. And on a daily chart, 98 would be right over here. or even 99, even 100. Okay, so that's depends how powerful the moves are. Yeah, but I think we're going a lot higher. This is just the beginning. So, but that's it this week. Keep in mind that these videos are not financial advice and should not be taken as such. It's for education and entertainment purposes only. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon and share the video if you have not done so already. Subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share with anyone and everyone you might think will benefit from my content. If you have not watched previous week's video, I encourage you to do that. And we'll see you next week. So that's it. Take care.